For 3 days, the rain has forced a pause. There's no progress to show in the patio, so you are forced to look elsewhere for a story. If you are a prisoner of monotony, you will find no novelty. But this is not a failure of reality, it's a failure of attention. The world is a broadcast of infinite signals, but most of it is just static. To find a story, you must be a radio, attentive, willing to tune the dial. I was planning to make a video about these old banknotes, ghosts of a collapsed economy I found in the house. I told a friend Nahuel about this idea, about the stories trapped in old money. And then he handed me a different signal, something much older, something heavier. There is an old Spanish phrase, vale un Potosí. It means it's worth a Potosí, a saying reserved for something of immeasurable value. Nahuel told me what he had given me, a silver real, hammered into existence in Potosí in the mid-1700s, during the time of the colony. When I began to dig deeper in old forums and archives, I found the legend, the Potosí hard coins, not just currency but amulets, hammered into the shape of a heart. They are a type of coin called macuquina, a crude relic from a pre-industrial age. The 4 reales pieces were almost mythical. You could count the known examples on the fingers of one hand. Starting price, $20,000. For a brief, dark moment, I considered faking a robbery and telling my friend I'd been mugged. But seriously, before I could claim to hold a legend, I had to put the silver itself to the test. First, the trial of weight. A 4 reales macuquina should weigh exactly 13.5 grams. The scale showed 13.3, a slight discrepancy, but forgivable. 3 centuries of wear could account for the missing mass. Next, magnetism. Real silver is indifferent. I took a powerful magnet from an old speaker. It passed, not even a whisper of attraction. The final test was a strange one. Silver is a fantastic thermal conductor. Ice should melt on it with an unnatural speed. But the Mar del Plata winter interfered. The experiment was inconclusive. However, once the initial excitement faded, the comparison with archival photos was relentless. On the whole, it was a crude, violent puncture, not the delicate piercing of the original amulets. The legend collapsed right there on my desk, but I was clearly holding a Potosí Reál. The date was hard to read, but it seemed to be 1765. One of the last to be struck by hammer. This coin was born in the final, dying moments of an era. Under King Charles III, the world was changing. Potosí was one of the last mints in the Americas still clinging to the old ways. This piece was hammered into existence on the very precipice of its own extinction. A few years later, the machines will arrive, and the sound of the hammer will fall silent forever. So the journey was not a complete success, but it was not a complete failure either. I didn't find the priceless hard coin, but I did find an authentic relic. Not the unique treasure of a king, but the common money of a soldier or a farmer. A small, tangible piece of 1,000 forgotten lives. And I think this is a story that deserves to be told, which in itself is worth a Potosí.